Ladies and gentlemen, the Emperor is dead, and I noticed this when I was getting in the car to take my family to dinner. So now we're making a video on this. The Emperor is dead. Guys, there's a new class in Flesh and Blood, and it is the Assassin class. Let's dive into it and talk about the fact that the Emperor is dead. Look, after all of those gifts, after all of those like titles, after all of the accolades and the ceremonies that were gonna take place, the dude just died. And what that means from like a lore perspective is absolutely huge, and we'll probably start there. But I don't know, maybe we'll start with the fact that there's a new class in the game of Flesh and Blood, and it's called Assassin. All right, let's talk about the Assassin. First of all, I do need to pull this up. Okay, so I just want to start by saying we're getting this literally when there's 6,666 views on this video, which is just perfect for you know, someone who's taking the Emperor's life. I guess that's pretty cool. Hey, but watch this video if you haven't seen it already, because Emperor is a thing. Wait for it. Wait for it. Oh man. I played that in the car. I played that in the car, and my oldest son was like, "Riot and the Last Dragon," and I was like, not quite. Not quite. It's just gonna loop. Okay, so that was the official spoiler, and it spoiled this card, Regicide. Regicide is the killing of a king, and that is exactly what this card is seeking to do, because Regicide is our first look at the new Assassin class. It is a 0-cost blue pitch 3 attack, which isn't a great thing, but it's not attacking that breakpoint, which would be disgusting. 3 defense, 3 block, majestic. It is a legendary Arachne specialization, meaning that we can assume that the hero is named Arachne, which is so cool. Arachne, play on arachnid, like spider, which has some implications we'll talk about here in a moment. When this hits a royal hero, and again, you can have a royal hero if they have the subtype royal, or if they're wearing the crown, which, by the way, if you can look in the art, I know it's kind of small, I apologize, but if you look in the art here, I'll just turn the window capture off. Look, he's holding the crown. That is so sick. If you kill, or sorry, if this hits a royal hero, they lose the game. They lose the game. But when this combat chain closes, you lose the game. I love this card, like, so much deep down. Regicide can't be defended by cards with the same name as cards in the defending hero's banished zone, which leads you to believe that there's like banished stuff that we're going to be seeing. But like, that's so interesting because the first thing I think of is like Levia, like Levia, I feel like would absolutely hate this hero, like tears rolling down her terrifying cheeks, because she's going to be banishing stuff. I guess like the same thing is true with like Art of War banishes stuff. And so like if Phi runs up against this, I guess he would have to be a royal hero. That's the big thing. They'd have to be a royal hero. So maybe there's other ways of royal heroes like entering the fray. Otherwise, I feel like this doesn't have a ton of I'm just okay. Whatever. It's not a breakdown. I should not be focusing on the breakdown of the hero here. What I should be focusing on. Shout out, Bryn. Okay, Bryn posted this, and I'm with it. I'm with this. Look. There's the page, right? Vipox guy. Let's go, Vipox guy. And not only that, but look, only fools resort to force. The spider. The spider. The hero's name based on the card is Arachne. Come on, it just fits. It's got to be the Vipox guy. And look, it even looks like, I can't zoom in. I wish I could zoom. Anyway, doesn't even matter, because look at this article. Okay, I'm gonna sum this up for you. Here's the sum up. Dromai and Phi are both seeking to overthrow the Emperor in their own ways. Of course, Fi is doing it outwardly. He is literally attacking at the gates of Ashvahan, running up the, embankments, the battlements, if you will, slaying dudes, okay? Dromai, now knowing what she knows about her parentage and their demise, and at the hands of people that were very close to her, spoiler alert, she has decided to take a different approach. She is not necessarily working with Fi, but she also seeks to overthrow the Emperor, perhaps to usurp him, perhaps just as payback for the perceived slights that she has as a child. But she is in the court and like studying. So she sees the Emperor is dead. And in that moment, in the moment where she sees the dead Emperor, both the schemes and machinations of her and Fi come to a screeching halt, because everything that they were seeking to do in overthrowing the Emperor has now been basically undone, and everything has been like tossed into this chaos, because this right here, this person, if that's what you can call it, has done the deed for both of them. And the fallout of this, by the way, Regicide by Sam Yang, really good art. The fallout of this is going to make for a very interesting story, because at the end of this, you see like there's royals fleeing, they're retreating to this other location, and she says, go with them. I'm gonna stay here. No, my place is here, because she is going to the throne room. Dromai glances in the direction of the throne room, her mind fixed on the chambers beyond and the power secreted within. The legacy of the dragon, awaiting one with the will to command it. I'm just saying, they're setting her up to put the crown on, and she's gonna be a royal. We can never be royals. I'm sorry, that was a bad one. That was a bad joke. Fi, by the way, also finds out that everything he's been fighting for has basically been taken away from him. The revenge that he wants to achieve, and feel that feeling, has basically been like rug pulled, because there's an assassin lurking somewhere in the palace halls, and escaped from the clutches of these guards and stuff. Now, I do want to point this out. I think Bryn's right. I think it's Vipok's guy, and there's a reason I think it's Vipok's guy, because it says only fools resort to force, the spider. And of course, the legendary Arachne specialization here lends us to believe that Arachnid spider. And that's not the only thing, because if you go, and I'll scroll all the way up, if you go to the pits section of the Heroes and then World of Wraith page, if you go down to the pits section, first of all, there is an entry for assassins. While both assassins and mercenaries can be hired to kill, assassins are specialists, having honed their skills to a fine edge. They are quick, quiet, and discreet, eliminating their target with deadly efficiency, often disguising the assassination to avoid rousing suspicion. Didn't disguise that one. Anyway, this is the interesting part. Assassins are most often hired by citizens of Metrix, sent to dispatch an enemy or opponent without drawing the attention of the Iron Assembly. Now, I'm going to keep pulling random tabs up because I should have prepped earlier. Here's the World of Wraith. Where's the world map? If I go retailers, marketing assets, can I find the world map? Yes, here's the world map. So if you didn't know, Wraith looks like this. And over here is Metrix. It's like sort of dead center north. I shouldn't say dead center. It's, what is that? North, south, east, west. It's west, northwest. And Metrix sits next to the pits, okay? And so these two regions are sort of inexorably tied together. We have this like, huge, bustling metropolis with technology. And then we have this sort of underground, seedy, lair-like place filled with assassins and, a bunch of skullduggery and that sort of thing. And so, if you didn't know, that's where this world, this region exists, the pits. And that is the Metrix aspect to the assassin. But here's the more interesting part. If we go all the way towards the bottom, we get to this entry, the spider. An order of assassins, the Spider operates in total secrecy. Its service is available only to those who know of its existence. Its assassins are raised from youth taken from the streets and from orphanages, their skills honed to forge them into the ultimate weapon. While there are rumors speculating which deaths they may have been involved in, no assassination carried out by a spider has ever been witnessed or proven. Perhaps until now? Perhaps until now? I don't know. That's pretty interesting. So this leads me to believe that it is indeed the old Vipox guy, the Spider, that he's from the pits and that he's part of this organization, which is pretty cool. Now, I guess the question becomes, if we're sitting here looking at, where is it? I think we can just go to this one. If we're sitting here looking at this card, are we assuming that this hero is a like a young only hero? Because in supplemental sets of the past, in Crucible of War, we got many young only heroes. In fact, that's all we got in that set. And in Everfest, we got several as well, but we did get an adult hero. Now, it was Bravo, star of the show, who is technically like an elemental guardian, so the card pool was built for that already, so it was easy to just sort of drop a like an adult hero that can already draw from like different card pools, right? So in this scenario, if they were dropping an adult hero, then they would either become an assassin that really just kind of has a couple of cards, maybe like this one, for example, and then like uses a bunch of generics, like kind of like Shiana, except with a couple of like class cards, or it's a full class, but they would have to devote a lot of cards to that. Like some number of cards would have to be devoted to making this like class cards and things like that. And so if they go the easier route, I put easier in quotes, then they make it like a young hero that plays with like a bunch of generics, kind of like a merchant, right? Because we did see merchants have the legendary gloves, right? The silver palms. So they could do that. Or if they go the harder route, they could build in cards for it, and then that could justify playing a larger adult hero version. I don't know, but I'm excited. This is too cool. We have an assassin in our midst, and you know what? We're getting very close. We're getting very close to spoiler season. We're only like a day away, because incidentally, my spoiler drops on the 30th. So we are like a day and a half at this point, because I'm releasing this kind of late. A day and a half away from the spoiler season officially starting. And I think you're going to have a good time with the video that I put together for mine. And I'm going to have a good time checking out all of these spoilers, because this is going to be a blast. This season's going to go by really fast, because it's like over the course of like 3-4 days. And I don't know how I'm going to focus at work, but we're going to have a good time. So let me know what you think about all of the assassin news in a comment down below, and what you're most excited for, what you want to play, what you want to see the assassin do. That's what I want to know. Maybe what their weapon's going to be like. I want to know all of what your opinions are on the class in a comment down below. Plus, if you enjoyed this video and me talking very fast, make that number right over there, that one right there, climb slightly higher, and eventually the 1 will appear where the 0 is. As always, thanks for watching.